every time we meet new people, it's a different experience. Gen Zs are the ones who are actually very confused about marriage. It's a product or a relationship. When you say that, they are checking out a lot, they are not really focusing on the core things which they need to check out. They would, encourage the child to see the CTC of the company.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they don't bother about where the right fitment of the job role with the person concerned is there. Are never into the swipe mode.
Right.
We educate people enough so that you make the right decision for a person. You have to be sensitive. And it's not changing.
Yeah.
And if at all it is changing for good.
Welcome back to the podcast. How are you?
Thank you, Anuja. Wonderful reconnecting with you.
So, how has your last 1 year been? Because we recorded the last podcast probably a year back.
Yeah.
So, it's been 1 year of experiences of life happening in front of you. So, how has it been?
A lot happens within a year, I guess.
Okay.
So, more experiences have, occurred, and we have gone through a lot of, newer kind of mindsets and understood the expectations of young people. Also have understood the mind of people who are in their second marriage. So every time we meet new people, it's a different experience. And I believe that every new person gives you a new learning.
Absolutely.
So in my field, I think as long as I'm going to do this, it is going to be an ongoing experience.
Absolutely. So, ma'am, the kind of world we are living in right now, it's in a flux right now.
Yeah.
Whether it's geopolitics, economics, or share markets, anywhere. If you talk about the Oval Office from America till probably Pahalgam in India.
Yeah.
So everything is constantly changing.
Correct.
And us out here, we are discussing about probably the most constant decisions of a person's life.
Yeah.
And then we are talking about Gen Z.
Yeah.
This generation happened with a kind of preconceived notion of normality around them.
Yeah.
They didn't see the kind of implications a war has on a country.
Correct.
Or any kind of an economic slowdown.
Correct.
Or recession or that kind of a major disturbance in the economy.
I agree.
So this generation is not used to having a chaos around them.
Absolutely.
And now world is in chaos.
Yeah.
And we are discussing about marriage.
Yeah.
So how relevant do you feel marriage is for Gen Z? And Gen Zs are the people who are born from 1995 till 2012.
Yeah.
So they are probably in their mid-20s right now.
Correct.
And it's the hot time for them to get married as per the society says.
Yeah.
So how relevant do you think marriage is?
Gen Zs are the ones who are actually very confused about marriage. And given the kind of normality you were talking about in life and the stability they have gone through and the kind of upbringing they've had, so most of them are already having a lot of comfort zone within their own bachelorhood status, and especially if they have made a career and they are earning. So they don't want to change their status quo. They love their freedom. And the natural yearning for a partnership, love, care is always there, which they think that being a boyfriend or a girlfriend, being into that romantic relationship, all those needs are being fulfilled. And long-term commitment is something they are really very scared of and anxious about.
And what could be the probable reason for that?
Because they are seeing the relationships being very volatile all around them. So they see a lot of breakups happening, people leaving each other on very shoddy notes and reasons. So that is shaking up their faith day in and day out.
Okay.
And this is why their anxiety to, as far as commitments are concerned, is much higher than our generation or, a generation before us.
Okay. So, ma'am, when we talk about Gen Z, the kind of approach they have about anything in their life is more transactional in nature. It's like how much value addition a particular thing is doing to their life. not just about marriage or relationship, anything. If they buy a laptop also, they'll check out a lot of pieces before buying one laptop.
Absolutely.
Just to make sure that whatever they are buying, it's actually adding value to their life. And same applies with the kind of relationships they build. They want to be very sure about the fact that a person is coming to their life. It's like a value add-on in their persona, in their life, in the kind of future that they'll be having. So do you think this kind of a burden is there on their head because they have seen relationship falling apart? But this is also very subjective in nature. Because
I think there are two problems when it comes to whether it's a product or a relationship. When you say that they are checking out a lot, they are not really focusing on the core things which they need to check out.
Okay.
By and large. Okay. I'm not saying it for everybody, but I can definitely say for 60 to 70% of the younger generation. So they may be checking out a lot, but then they are not checking out on the core things which are actually going to make a relationship or a product sustainable. It's more of an impulse as to what is flashy to them.
Okay.
Yeah, and especially in terms of relationships. Okay. So maybe if the person is obsessed with pedagogy and say the brand name like IIT IIM, so maybe a person who is a non-IITian may not be attractive to that person just because he doesn't have that brand value. Okay. Right. Similarly, if somebody is carrying these very fancy expensive brands, so that person is more upmarket for them vis-a-vis somebody who's holding really very strong human values. So whatever is like I would say attractiveness to that individual,
okay,
that person gets attracted to that. So somebody may be very attracted to some designations in the corporate.
Okay.
So if a girl is working in an IT sector and he is looking for a girl in the IT sector, so she would be really much more sought after vis-a-vis somebody who's a doctor or maybe into some teaching profession and all. So when people are being attractive, they are not actually focusing on the core values. That is my understanding of the new generation.
So ma'am, when we talk about figuring out the core values of a person, do you think this new generation, because they still have a long way to go with respect to their personal growth, their emotional upbringing and how they'll evolve in the future. So do you think they are educated enough with respect to the kind of partner they should be seeking out for? So
they are instigated enough, I would say, and that too by their own parents.
Ma'am, can you explain that?
I mean to say that these transactional relationships and being overtly practical about relationships, that is coming out of anxieties and out of insecurities of the parents themselves. To the parents, success means a lot of money.
Okay.
To parents, success means marrying somebody who's extremely good looking, coming from a big house, having a big car. So they don't even bother to know about the character of the person. They don't even bother to know about the core values of the person. If you have these attributes, they will be pushing their own child to choose those kind of things. Okay. So, and even if company wise, if their child has to get into a domain or get into a company, they would encourage the child to see the CTC of the company.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they don't bother about where the right fitment of the job role with the person concerned is there. They would not care about that. They would say नहीं CTC इसमें ज़्यादा है, यहाँ तेरे को ज़्यादा fast track growth मिलेगी. Similarly with marriage also, they would be pushing more towards the status of the family and how that marriage would benefit their child.
Absolutely.
So I feel that the insecure parents are most responsible for helping the child make wrong judgments.
Okay, that makes absolute sense. So, ma'am, I'll just play devil's advocate right now. So I'll try to ask you one thing, that when we talk about people trying to impress their could-bes in the future, so one thing that firstly comes to their mind is showcasing their salaries, their profile, sometimes their looks, or the kind of knowledge they have about the world, the kind of well-read, well-traveled they are.
Absolutely.
So these are the primary things that people talk about in their probably the the first conversations that they have.
Correct.
But in a way, it's much more convenient for them to do that. Why?
Yeah.
Because the world which is coming in the future, everything is unstable. Especially economy.
Correct.
Especially the kind of earnings that people will be doing in the future.
Correct.
Because people are choosing very unconventional careers.
Correct.
Especially Gen Z.
Correct.
Millennials were still choosing conventional careers because they had a kind of a pressure in their head. Correct. That probably engineering or being a doctor is the only way of choosing a career.
Correct.
But Gen Zs are very open to just being probably a freelancer and spending their whole life.
Correct.
But the major thing in this whole scenario is having money in the account. Right, and that applies to every generation for that matter.
Absolutely.
So the best thing to boast right now with your future partner, the best thing could be a financial stability in the future. So I mean, what's wrong in that? I mean, I'm just trying to figure it out.
There's nothing wrong in that. Financial stability should be the priority of any young person.
Okay.
So working towards it, there is absolutely no harm. But then that cannot be the only thing. That is where you beg to differ.
But where to draw a line?
Where to draw a line? See, your own personal financial growth is an ongoing thing. It has to keep going till the time you really plan your retirement. Maybe I'm not putting a number to it. Somebody can retire at 45. Somebody can work up till 65. It's totally your own how you have planned your life.
Right.
So drawing a line, I would say that when you're looking at the other person, of course financial stability in that person's life is important, but at the same time you need to again look at core values, like are they in alignment with your own core values?
Are they aware of their own core values?
Sometimes you have to probe. Sometimes
How?
They would also not know. So you need to spend more time, ask relevant kind of questions, observe their relationship with money, observe their relationship with parents, friends, environment, their honesty with their work. Are they diligent and are they punctual about their own work environment?
Okay.
How do they talk about their relatives, their colleagues behind their backs? And what kind of a self-esteem that person has about himself. The person's relationship with himself or herself is the most important thing, which you need to look at.
And give us like probably 3 points of analyzing that a person has a higher self-esteem or a not so good self-esteem.
You can ask a straight question.
Just like
that. What do you think about yourself? How do you assess yourself?
Okay.
So maybe in a short gist, that person will evaluate himself or herself.
I mean, in this also
and see
we'll
the
have
keywords, whatever is that person describing about himself or herself. You'll get a fair idea about what exactly instantly comes into his or her mind when that person has to describe himself.
Now, when we have dating apps and all the social media platforms which are readily available for the generation to probably match make or connect to the different person in case they're wanting to get married, the matrimonial websites or the matrimonial services, how do you think they are more relevant than all of these dating platforms and apps right now?
A personal touch.
Okay.
And human interaction cannot be replaced by any AI or any virtual platform.
True.
So I think the matrimonial companies like LetsMarry, the kind of human intervention they have, the human the psychology part, which we can understand the nuances, the body language, the aspirations of the person, the conflicts, and the struggles of a person, the background, the value systems, all those sensitivities which a human being has are there with the matrimonial advisors.
Okay, and I'm sure
no matter how much progress the virtual world makes, that will never happen. Secondly, we are never into the swipe mode. We educate people enough so that you make the right decision for a person.
True.
You are not swiping left or right based on your assumption or impulse.
True.
So through us, you are making more profound and more deeper understanding of the profiles.
Right.
And you're able to take much better decisions.
Absolutely.
So I think we play a much deeper role and much wider role in matchmaking compared to any of the apps.
Brilliant, ma'am. So, are there some newer verticals which are there in the service so that they can cater to the Gen Z, which is constantly on move? They like to get stimulated every now and then.
I think LetsMarry, the most important aspect, which I think is the starting of the journey, wherein we help the person who's becoming a member to know him or herself first.
Okay, so how does that happen?
That is through our interactions. That is through a lot of questionnaires we give them.
Okay.
We also have psychological interventions.
Okay.
And we help the person go deeper into his or her own life.
Okay.
And deeper into his own personality. We discuss that at length. And also, help them to envisage what is their life goal and what are their inner callings, and be little explicit about it, so that we are able to holistically understand a person and make the right kind of searches.
Absolutely.
And even that person is more focused and more clear about what he or she is looking for in a life partner. So the attributes which are going to complement make a person more complete, in a sense that supposedly if a person is an extrovert, we would suggest that person to have somebody who is more resilient, calmer, and
opposite attract,
and maybe more observant.
Yeah. Right.
So we are able to help a person know himself or herself, and then look towards the journey which is going to take him or her to the most I would say the right partner for him.
Beautiful. So our capacity of loving someone totally depends on how much we can love ourselves.
Absolutely.
So it's our own reflection.
Absolutely.
So do you think love languages play a role in all of this? Because right now a lot of complexities happened with the mismatch of love languages. Probably what is good for me might not be good for my partner.
Absolutely.
And that just reflects of their own personality. They are not even doing it for the sake of communicating something.
Absolutely.
It is just their way of living life.
Absolutely.
So is there a way to understand that?
See, understanding love language it means that understanding the emotional needs of the other person. So it is a part of your emotional intelligence.
And can you give some examples for that?
So love to me could be a touch. Love to me could be, to somebody else, could be a nice gift on an appropriate occasion.
Okay.
That means you are feeling valued. To somebody, it could be spending wonderful time together, moments together. For somebody, it could be, talking out an issue which is bothering the other person.
True.
And bringing, solutions onto the table.
Right.
So if somebody is perplexed at some point of time, and love sometimes could also be giving moments of silence.
True. Right.
And solace.
Right.
In a chaotic environment.
Which is understandable to both the partners.
Yeah. So there may be one particular way of love which is something which is like a pronounced or a bigger form of your love language, and there can be situation wise I would say love signs which you may require, love needs which you may require from time to time, situation to situation, but that larger part should be well understood by your spouse, so that
and reciprocated also,
and reciprocated and taken care of, so that both of you as a couple feel loved and cared.
Beautiful. So
that's what LetsMarry is taking care of.
That's beautiful. So ma'am, I'll just add one more point to this, and probably then we can end this conversation. These love languages that we've just discussed about, it's about understanding the need of the other person who's there in front of us, right?
Absolutely.
Now there is this whole concept of individualism, whereas like if I am a particular individual, why would I change for the other person? For example, I don't like gifting, giving gifts to my partner.
Correct.
And my partner is in dire need of that kind of a love language. He or she is expecting gifts from me. So I would have to change for that person. So how do you think there should there be a balance of the ways in which you can change for your partner happily,
Yeah.
Or is it a sacrifice?
Doing things for your partner's happiness is not changing, first of all.
Okay.
That's a part of giving,
Okay.
understanding. And in a situation when you're married, when you are having a family, you always have to be sensitive towards other people's need.
Okay.
So if you have that attitude that I'm changing by doing things for my immediate family, my spouse and my children,
Right.
then you are not the right person to be actually marrying.
True.
Right.
Like introvert, extrovert debate, yeah.
Nobody is asking you to change your personality.
True.
So if you are not a gifting person, maybe you would choose situations to gift and not
Right.
be randomly and gifting all the time.
Right. So these are the nuances that we need to be
then
careful.
certain occasions do require those mementos.
True. True.
Right. If it's your anniversary or a birthday,
Yeah.
those are the moments you would like some memories.
Yeah.
So you have to be sensitive, and it's not changing.
Yeah.
And if at all it is changing for good when you are doing
True.
things for other people.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, it was amazing doing this conversation with
Thank
you.
you.
Ma'am, would you like to add on the last point in our conversation? Last but not the least one, of course. Just for the information for the Gen Z,
Yeah.
that love has not gone away anywhere.
No.
It's there right in front of them. It's just the
Absolutely.
faces have changed.
Yes.
The way it looks has changed right now.
Yes,
So,
yes.
can you add something to that?
So I think most of the time we are digitally judging people.
Yeah.
Right, and we are randomly judging people based on whatever is coming onto the social media. So even the people we are maintaining very close relationships, so could be an opposite gender, could be somebody who I have a crush on, and I'm making judgments based on whatever he or she is being seen as on the social
Yeah.
media. So what I would say is that I encourage a lot of personal time spent rather than digital time spent with
Right.
each other, to know each other better, and you will have much better bonds.
Amazing. Thank you so much, ma'am. Looking forward to having
you.
round
Thank
3
you.
with you with
Absolutely.
newer points and newer
Yes.
topics of discussion.
Yes.
The world is changing, we'll change, and we'll have fresher
Definitely.
perspective in the future.
Definitely.
Thank you so
Anuja.
much.
Definitely. Thank you.